Hello, everyone. So, I will quickly check what's here and we will go around. So, I did watch the video about Wizards News. Where she was saying stuff about that. If he, and it sounds like he did, if he really knew, personally, I don't, even with an NDA, I think he could have done stuff, I will be honest, that would have allowed him to find a way to be able to share the information. That he could have worked with everyone to find the appropriate way to be able to share it enough to do that. Honestly, I can see where she's coming from, because while I had told my area that it, and I honestly did not have any insider information, but my understanding was that we would have extra in general. Things for that. So I said, if you need this, you might want to also try to go in fortresses, but we didn't go in a sponsored fortress, which would have been better if we'd gone in sponsored fortresses. Had we known around here, we would have done sponsored fortresses too. One of our issues around here is our only sponsored fortresses don't have any inns anywhere in close, like decently close proximity. It does not exist near our inns. We only have two sponsored, or anywhere near our sponsored fortresses. We only have two sponsored fortresses, and those fortresses do not have inns near them. I may, during the stream, drive around and let you guys see what I mean. I do want to go go map some stuff, so we will work on that today. But something else I wanted to bring up. Yesterday I was watching, I will admit, lately I've been going, I don't know what they want to see. I don't know what's really of interest to my viewers, whatever else. What do I do? Because it's like Monday, it was literally the same. In many ways, it felt like the same thing. Obviously, there is only so much I could do from home. But then yesterday, I kind of got the same feeling. I will admit, part of the reason I hurried off is I needed to talk to my husband about something. I could tell something was going on, and I needed to figure out how to resolve it. And I did not feel that would be appropriate to do on a stream, on the live stream. It ended up just being I needed to get him food, which is what I suspected. But before it was something more, and he didn't feel he could let me know, then yeah. So that's why I hurried yesterday. So that's how I was feeling. And then last night, after we got home, I watched the Fry Life. And their video yesterday literally was basically the same thing. I don't know what to do. We don't know, and they've been streaming for 5 years. And they said, or not streaming, they've been putting out videos for 5 years. And they said we sometimes make the mistake and start feeling like we have to have this huge entertaining video every single day. Tuesday, 6 days a week, and then they stream 1 day a week. So they do a bit more, 1 day more than I do. And theirs are videos rather than streams. But they said that they felt that they had to entertain the whole time. And some of the streamers I've watched, different things like that, and that's actually, I will be honest, that's one reason, in many ways, it was a reminder yesterday with the Fry Life of exactly why I chose to stream. And it was a reminder to me, because I don't like the videos that every single day that they post, it's something major. It's new information. It's etc., etc. Hey, look at this new thing, and it's huge, and whatever else. And that was a reminder to me that, no, I am streaming to play the game. To show people what it's like to play the game. What it's like to just go out and play and stream and have fun, and that sometimes it's just the grind, that's part of playing the game, but that it can be fun to play the grind, and it can be, there's the communication with others, there's sharing with others, the friendships, all of that is part of the game, and is what makes the game what it is. The anticipation of the next community day event. Before we got the release yesterday, it was, when will it be? Is there going to be one? What are they going to do for October? October is a huge thing for the wizarding world. So they've got to do something. If they don't, they've told us that everything is in the game for a reason. Well, if everything's in the game for a reason, you need to understand how huge Halloween is for the wizarding world. So what are you going to do for that? These different things that we talk about, the things that actually in some ways made us love the books. The fact that the trying to find the answers, all of that stuff, looking for the little tidbits, things like that. And then sharing with others. And that's a huge piece. And the ability to find answers. I will respond to a little bit that I found on that video, and that was that. So, for those who don't know, Wizards News, some people suspect he knew that there was extra XP in the fortresses during Community Day. He went out and he really slammed a sponsored fortress during Community Day. And people are saying that he knew and that he should have shared. But we do know he has signed a non-disclosure agreement. I don't know if it was with Niantic or Warner Brothers or both. I couldn't exactly pick that up. But an NDA was signed. And so, what was included in that NDA, he has not released any of that. People suspect he knew before Community Day that during Community Day, sponsored fortresses would have extra XP. And so he went out and he grinded in a sponsored fortress. That's basically what he did during Community Day. While the rest of us were busy grinding for the time turners and looking for all the other things that they had actually said. So there's that. Now, and his response was, well, people should have at least tried and then shared the word. So my feeling is that one part about that, I agree with finding it, but the hint was too subtle, I believe. Now, saying something will happen in fortresses. We aren't going to tell you what if it's going to be every fortress or just sponsored fortresses. Something good will happen. Or saying, this is how much XP you should get from a sponsored from a regular fortress and a sponsored fortress regularly. Check out, something's going to happen on Community Day with fortresses. Or something like, some hint, something to at least give a hint that something was different, something would be changed. With, in general, I get that they did not want to advertise it was supposed to be an Easter egg. Well, the problem with the way it was done, and this is my feeling, the big problem with the way it was done, a lot of people do not know what the XP, I don't know what the XP you get from a fortress battle is. So had I gone in, I'm not sure I would have realized that the XP was increased. Or to have it say, this would have worked, to have it say in the rewards, you receive, like when you click and then it shows you all the rewards, so much extra XP for Community Day. Just state it right there. All of a sudden now it's known that this was specifically for Community Day and you got extra XP. Now people are going to go out and start sharing it because, holy crap, we weren't warned about this. This is, surprise. This is a surprise or things like that. People would know. The problem came, I believe, a big part of the problem came with the Easter egg, that no one knew that there was a change. And so they didn't share the word that there was a change and there was an increase because it wasn't known. Now, our area would not have got the extra XP. Because of the way it is. I'll have to, one of the times, go near and show you. In some ways, it actually makes me want even more to try and see if we can find a way to get some inns near our sponsored fortress. One of the two sponsored fortresses we have in the valley. But at least, and so it wouldn't have necessarily helped us. I'm going to be honest. It would not have helped us. But the way it was done, I really believe helped no one. Now, the reason it's not in here right now to go into the map is because I had to restart my phone. People are jumping, or when I was helped having it set up, they jumped through some stuff that then the phone does not know how to go back and deal with it. So that's why I have to go back. So, but that's my feeling on if they wanted to do a Easter egg my feeling is the best thing you can do is to go back, or not go back, but is to have it somewhere that there's some indication that there is an Easter egg. I'm just trying to figure out for sure where I'm at. Okay, I know where I'm at. Okay. That there is an Easter egg there. So that it can be picked up rather than... And that was the issue, I believe, that came in. So if they want ideas on ways to do that in the fortress... that would be my suggestion. Just having had something saying congratulations, you got, or in that listing, that extra, maybe not even saying congratulations, just listing specifically that it's for Community Day or something like that. So that they go, wait a minute, what? And double check what they just saw, or go in again to see if they get it again, etc. And then word will be spread. It's known it's an Easter egg. And the anger that came, here's part of it, the anger that came from it will no longer be there. No, I got that one last time. Because all of a sudden there is a way to know that, hey, wait, there's a Easter egg here. Did anyone know this was going to happen? Or maybe not, hey, wait, there's an Easter egg, but they would start asking, hey, did you know this was going to happen? Did you know this was going to happen? Etc. And that question is exactly the thing that then, people would be happy about it. People would be grateful to the sponsored fortresses areas, and I'm sure that's what they were after, but the way it was done instead ended up with a lot of people feeling ripped off. So that's my suggestion on that. And on one thing that was supposedly said is, well, don't just bitch and complain, which in many ways. So a lot of people were upset. And I admit, with Community Day, I did not feel it was as good of a Community Day. And I was waiting for usually they send out a form saying, how did you feel about Community Day? Or is there anything you would have changed? So they said, I went on to one of my Discord things and they said, just go in this place and tell us how you felt about it. So I felt that was just a general say how you felt about it. Did you like it? Did you not? So I went in and I said, I didn't really feel this one was that good. I was disappointed by it. and I did not put my input as into how to make it better. I felt that was specifically what was being asked for. And I was waiting for the form to come out. I still have not seen a form out to be able to say, hey, we didn't like this. Here's some ideas. So I'm going to put my ideas here in case anyone listens to it and would like it. Because honestly, I believe, and those who know me know I believe in trying to help solve things. And so my ideas, what could have been done differently during Community Day? Well, obviously, I've already stated what could have happened during the fortress. I feel that would have, or with the Easter egg fortresses, I believe that would have reduced the anger here. Now, at the same time, it would have still ended up in anger in other places. So what do you do there? Because really, we are not trying to anger people everywhere. So you put a couple random fortresses in each area. 1 or 2 random fortresses in each area. Or you choose, like, I don't know, maybe say, okay, we're going to choose, rather than a business, let's choose certain parks. If we can't, if they don't have sponsored fortresses within this distance, a park is chosen. Or whatever. Then they get places that don't have sponsored fortresses near them, get something. Or only if there's no sponsored fortresses in the country. Or whatever. Then, okay, we will or in the city or whatever. We'll concede and we'll give a sponsored fortress, or not a sponsored fortress, but maybe we'll put it in a park or something like that. And then just leave it at that. And then everyone in the world would have had that chance. Not just in America, but you still would have put an emphasis towards sponsored fortresses. Especially if you limit it to not, and maybe even say, have something that states, this might have even done even more, that states, you do not have a sponsored fortress, so this fortress is giving this reward and have it slightly less reward, but still a higher reward. If you had a sponsored fortress, then you would have gotten this much, or something like that. Because I know they're a business. And then to sponsor fortresses, go to this link or whatever. Well, then all of a sudden you provide the opportunity. You get the word out in the other countries. People are going to start getting a hold of businesses in those countries and saying, hey, go to this place and see if you can sponsor us a fortress so we can get the extra rewards. Now all of a sudden you've got the business side of it, that honestly, anyone who does not understand that, I'm sorry, but it is a business. That's the way it is. And I'm not mad about that, okay? I want to make that clear. I'm not mad that this game is a business, because that's honestly that's part of what's going to help us not have to pay as much to have it be nice. It's the way of the world. It really is. Because they've got to have money to pay for the programmers, the works. My experience has been they have listened to us more than we were listened to, more than was listened to in Pokemon Go. So, I have no issue with that. I totally get that. Am I sad that we don't have more around here? Yeah, I'd love to have fortress with inns around, whatever else. And to have more fortresses. I'd love that. Am I mad that they have sponsored fortresses? No, I totally get why that happens. So, that's my take on that. On what they could have done with the fortresses to reduce the anger. Now, what could they have done to make Community Day better? I believe that rather than stick with just the ones that they announced, I believe that they should have had it where that the mysterious artifacts were almost all that could be found during that time. And so all mysterious artifacts had a greater chance of spawning. Because then we would have had a greater chance of finishing out the registries. That was kind of what I talked to others in my area, and it wasn't just me. A lot of us felt that was what we had been told would be happening during Community Day, and it didn't happen. So we were kind of like, what? Okay, this isn't fair. And we felt a little bit ripped off. Because it was kind of overwhelming trying to get things done. And then all of a sudden we're saying that, sorry, you don't have this. This is all you've got. I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm not saying it was handled the best. So, that would be and we were pretty bored, I will be honest. So, trying to see which one of those I missed. The icon one. And I think I need to get closer to find out for sure where that is. Okay. I'm going to drive up closer and go from there. So that's how could Community Day have been improved? Number one, I think that submitting that, or having people submit to that form that they've done every other time that says, what did you think about it? And what could we have done to make it better? That form was amazing because one, we felt heard, we felt listened to. Two, it gave us a place to give our suggestions. And I believe some of those suggestions were put into play. I wonder if because of the fortress is why they did not do that this time, because of the anger over it, because they picked up on the anger pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised to hear that. But I really believe, even if it's negative, accept that, okay, we made a mistake. There's going to be negative input. We still want to hear it. Honestly, that's part of me, or not part of me. One thing I can tell you right now is that had they done that, I don't believe that things would have been, the anger would have gotten as high as it did. I believe that part of the reason the anger got as much is people felt that they were being told, shut up. We don't want to hear your input in this case. And a lot of us feel we're invested in this game. I'm going to be honest. And so that's my take on that. Performance Center. So, if they really want input, that's my input on how things could be made better. Could have been done better. If you agree, disagree, I'd love to hear your guys' input. I am not going to link the video because I believe that I hate to see the anger and I'm not putting down the hurt. We were hurt around here. But there's a reason I didn't bring up the hurt other than to say that So let's keep the anger and the hatred out, but go ahead and put your feelings on, just, I disagreed with what happened, or I disagreed and here's the way I would change it, or things like that. I would, and if you ever have something you want to post about, if you did this better, I'd like it, or this different on your streams, please. Yeah, that's what I don't... I totally agree. It was... And I'm going to come over here for a minute. Oh, we have 3. Okay. So we have 3 now. Yeah, it was awful. I don't agree with what happened. That's what I was getting at. I feel that the attack that's what I didn't agree with. And that's why I'm trying very hard to not attack either way. That's why I'm not going to post the video. post, or why I'm not going to link to the video, and why I'm trying, and why I haven't, that's part of the reason I haven't mentioned a name about who did it, because I don't feel it was handled right. I believe that there may have been a better way to handle it. It's completely sad. There used to be a North End Zone greenhouse. Where is that one? Did it get moved over here? Or did I put it in the wrong? Let's see. Oh, they're both there. They're just hiding. Okay. I got lost there for a minute. Sorry. But in some way, I will say, while I think it was handled wrong, I do agree that saying something, the complaint was that he was doing it all for the views and for increasing, just to increase what was said. In some ways, and I wonder if hers, to some degree, was also to get a lot of views. I haven't gone out again. I didn't go out last night. And so, I don't know what was found after, if any was found after Sunday. We might go out later, but I'm pretty sure that more will be found up in Manaway. Error submitting for it, and it's right there. Okay. Go figure. But I'm sure Manaway's going to be full anyway. So, I'm not as wondering there anymore. The question is when we're going to get some around here again. But it hasn't rained. I have heard later this weekend we're going to get hit hard. And so part of me is waiting for that. I say 6 steak. And so that's why I really haven't pushed yet to go out. agree. I did not feel good listening to it. So yeah. I could see them finding serpents on the regular now, considering how many we're finding in Manaway. I really believe, and I'm going to say this again, I believe that part of it is once they're found and caught, they're going to show up more. I can't say for sure, but areas where they're finding some, and then from what I can tell, areas they're finding some, they catch them, and then they go back, they're finding more each time. Okay, they found 1 or 2 in Weber. Would mean that they found 1 or 2, caught them. Now they're going to catch more because they caught them. Place so many Vandables. Pokemon Go, we once in a rare while will get 1 in our house unless we drop a egg or drop a trace. And yet I have more at my house than is right here. And this is a huge area for people to have cell phones and have them on. And so that kind of takes out the idea of it's just how many cell phones are on in an area, which is what I've heard over and over and over. I kind of have proof that that's not true. Because, yeah, my house is a complete nest. Someone else in the valley that plays a lot, I know what's going on. No, that's not what's going on. Okay, let's log out. Oh, it's there. Anyway, go figure. We'll log out and log back in. My house is a complete nest, and there's a few of us playing. Another person that don't mind, that catch things there. There's another person that I know, their house is a nest. They, from what I understand, they are the only person playing at that area, at their house. But their house is a nest because they catch things while they're there. And then an area like this is actually a major church area. So these 2 buildings and that one right there with the fortress on, actually those 2 are all church buildings for our church, for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for young adults. That means that there are a lot of phones on in this area. There just are. So there's a lot of phones on, and they are in use. But they aren't necessarily playing Wizards Unite. And they're missing it. They don't have that much here. Obviously, there's one here or one there. And yet this is a huge area for Wizards Unite. Okay, or not for Wizards Unite. A huge area for young adults with phones on. smartphones. I know the area is not blocked by request of the church. I know that because I've been to areas where it's huge, high volume around a LDS church. You know, a church for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I know it's not a request from the owners of the land that it be removed. We kind of did see what happens when there are requests to have it removed. What happens is that the inns and the greenhouses and the fortresses are removed, not the spawns. Well, we saw inns, greenhouses, and fortresses, but we didn't see spawns. So that narrows down that it's not that the spawns are reduced because of a request. It means something else happened there. And it doesn't make sense. It's just the number of smartphones pinging a tower. Because there's plenty of smartphones there on the weekends pinging a tower. So then you have to look farther into what could possibly be the difference. And the one difference I can find is the fact that at my place, things are caught. Trust me, things are caught at my place. They're seen, they're caught, generally. Not all the time immediately, and not every single one. But they are caught. However, in other places, they're not. So that's my suspicion as to what's going on now. I'm trying to figure out where we're at. I'm going to see. You said you rarely play there. And that's my suspicion, is that we're going to find that where people rarely play doesn't have very much. And that the way to get more is to start playing. That may sound weird, but that's what I think we're going to find, is that the way to get more things is to play around you. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, that's that. Possibly could be part of it. But that wouldn't explain why some people, or why some parks are loaded. Because people wouldn't have been doing that at a park. I think it's where are people playing, spending the most time playing, which would be shown by how much people are picking up in an area. Obviously, some of our parks are not going to have people, they won't have people doing their update there, but they will have people catching stuff, especially ones that have certain lures on them. And that's another reason I think it's how much people are playing in the area. Is because if I go to certain parks, I mean, like right here, you can see we have more of a spawn here than we did back there, and yet we check that out every so often, and there's more there. We don't play there as much as we play at home. But on Reiki, originally we found one every couple of days. And then it went up to every time we were there, we could always find at least one. And now it's actually starting to be 2 or 3 every single time we're there. And we aren't there on a regular basis, but we're there. Probably the more you're there, the more you're going to, and that you're doing stuff, the more you're going to find. That's actually part of what spawned this thought in my mind, is seeing how many we had, seeing how many someone else in the valley had. And I'll be honest, I'm starting to see more of the ones that I'm clicking on at my house. But I am seeing more of the ones that I'm searching for. And that's also part of what leads me to believe that it's show up. And you may actually end up being able to make your house, if I'm correct, that that's what's going on, that the game is watching for where are people playing. And then using that to decide where they're going to be playing in the future. And how much do we need to have show up around here? That would be the way to test, I believe. So you have tried that with a trace. Okay. I wasn't sure, so. There. Okay, well, that then proves that I was wrong. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Maybe they have parks listed such that it'll watch the parks more. Or something, I don't know. But it is helpful to know that, no, it's not just that something else is going on. Yeah, I believe you. I will go look when I'm off. I don't want to go in while I'm streaming. Just to be fair to Goddess and everyone on there. Yeah, I hope so for your sake. I really do, because it is so fun to be able to just go out and not, or just lay in my bed at times and get what I need. Okay, so Child Memorial. I figured out where it is, I think. Ew, this map's off. Now I know why I was confused. And if Goddess Diana JS is on, she'll see what I mean. Right by that child memorial, see the 3 houses and the other houses? You know what happened to those. I totally agree. I'm using the Wizard's U. Okay, good there. See, Wizards Unite World. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love our churches and stuff, but we also it's more. Okay. We believe in doing a lot of prayers in our homes and stuff like that too, and so yeah. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. I forgot you used to live around here. trying to figure out where the heck this one is so I can put it in right. So there's those two. Between the two fortresses. Are the fortresses in? No, the fortresses aren't in either. Okay, let's see. I'd like to mark that, but you know what? I'm getting bored of doing that, and I can't see well enough. I'll have to go up to USU and do that one. There we are. Because I didn't get a chance to finish between me and the other person that did it the other day. My husband called and said, "Help, I'm here," and so I went. But we did get more of it mapped than we had before, and as you can see, looks like we just have this one small portion right in the middle, right around the business building to map. And that won't be hard to map, maybe tonight or tomorrow or another day. But everything else up there got done, other than maybe right there. Anyway. I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes I hear sad stories about people being accepted, and I'll be honest, when I hear those, it upsets the crap out of me, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. In fact, I know it does happen. But it upsets me because it's not supposed to be that way. And so when I hear the stories about people totally being I'm gonna let you guys go. This is my husband's work, I believe. So